The situation in Gaza has taken even more shocking turn. Believe it or not, there is now an Israeli-backed militia operating inside Gaza itself. The group is called Abu Shabab militia, and yes, Israel is supporting and arming them. Now, the reason behind this strange alliance is very simple. Israel wants this group to fight against Hamas, the group that has ruled Gaza for years. It's like Israel is supporting one enemy to fight another enemy. The Abu Shabab militia claims that they are protecting food aid trucks and helping distribute supplies to the people of Gaza. But many locals don't believe that. In fact, there are serious accusations that this particular group has been looting aid, stealing it before it reaches the hungry people who desperately needs it. This week, the fighting between Hamas and the Abu Shabab militia became really deadly. Hamas says that its forces killed 12 members of Abu Shabab because they were simply working with Israel. Hamas even released videos of dead bodies lying in the streets, claiming that these were Abu Shabab fighters who had been captured and executed. Now, on the other hand, Abu Shabab says that they killed 5 Hamas fighters, but they haven't said anything about their own losses. With both sides making different claims, it's impossible right now to know who is telling the truth. While all this was happening, something even more horrifying occurred. An aid foundation called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or also we can call it GHF, was attacked. It was a group backed by the US and Israel, and it was set up to provide food and supplies to starving Palestinians in Gaza. According to GHF, Hamas attacked a bus carrying their Palestinian aid workers, killing at least 8 people and injuring many others. Now, some workers were reportedly even taken hostages by Hamas fighters. Now, what's making this even worse is that when the Red Cross tried to help the wounded aid workers, Hamas blocked them from taking the injured to the hospital. The victims were left bleeding, lying in the parking lot of Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis without receiving any treatment. The GHF described this particular situation as heartbreaking, with dead bodies and injured people left helpless as hospital staff were threatened and forced not to help. But why would Hamas attack an aid organization? Well, Hamas accuses GHF of being more than just an aid group. They claim that this particular organization is being used as a tool by Israel to lure civilians into traps or to control them with food. In the meantime, the organization denies all these accusations completely, saying that they are only there to help the people of Gaza survive. The organization even called Hamas cowardly murderers and accused the United Nations and Western countries of staying silent about these brutal deaths. As if that wasn't bad enough, even standing in line for food has become dangerous in Gaza. Since the organization started its operation in May, dozens of Palestinians have died while trying to collect food. There have been reports of Israeli forces firing warning shots near aid distribution centers, and sometimes those warning shots turned deadly. Just this past Thursday, 21 people were killed while waiting for food, according to Gaza officials. However, Israel denies the firing at the crowd directly, claiming that their shots were fired far away from the distribution sites just to manage the crowd. Even the food that people do receive is a struggle to use. The aid boxes from GHF contain dry food like rice, flour, or even oil. But most families in Gaza no longer have working stoves, gases, or even clean water to cook with. That means when they get food, they often can't prepare it into something edible. Amid all this chaos, there was a tiny bit of good news. For the very first time since March, Israel allowed 8 trucks to directly enter northern Gaza. A total of 56 trucks from the World Food Programme crossed through the Zikim crossing, also known as the Erez West crossing. Now, this was a huge relief for the people in the north who hadn't seen direct aid deliveries for months. However, the accusation between Israel and Hamas continued. Israel claims that Hamas has been stealing between 15 to 25% of all aid that enters Gaza, using it to fund their operations and pay their fighters. Though Hamas denies this and says that Israel is just spreading lies to make them look bad. Now, when you step back and look at a bigger picture, it becomes clear how tragic and complicated the situation really is. The people of Gaza are caught between Hamas, the Abu Shabab, and the Israeli military. Both Hamas and militia are fighting, both are accused of stealing aid or blocking it, and in the meantime, Israeli forces continue to launch attacks against Hamas while also allowing some aids to flow. The worst part is that it's the ordinary people of Gaza, the families, children, the elderly who are suffering the most. They just want food, water, safety, and peace, but instead they are trapped in the middle of this heartbreaking and brutal conflict. The story is not about choosing sides, it's about understanding how messy and cruel war becomes, where even simple things like food, medicine, and survival are turned into the tools of war.